5 JavaScript tips that can help you delete a property in an object. Let's get down to business. So I'm going to be bringing up my editor. I'm using the VS Code for this video. So at the left side, I have my code, which I've been written down, and at the right side, I have my terminal. So the terminal is going to be used to be running this code. So let me explain this code to you guys. So we have an object which has props 1, props 2, props 3, and a value 1, value 2, and value 3. So we have the objects. So these are the objects, right? So yeah, these are the objects. So let's say I really want to have some chance here. Okay, let me just clear some space so that everything is going to be more included in the screen. Okay, that works. So we have this guy. We have to run this guy, index.js. So if you look at the terminal, looking at the terminal, you're gonna see what is happening on the terminal. So on the terminal here, we have old objects, new objects. You can see we have two consoles here, which is a console of old objects and console of new objects. So what are you saying here? We have on the terminal, we also have the old object, which has the props 1, props 2, props 3, and which is returning the property, which is which is returning the values, which is value 1, value 2, value 3, value 1, value 2, value 3. So you see, there is no difference between the old object and the new object. So how can we delete from this object? So first of all, we have the first one that we are going to be using to delete from this object, which is the delete operator. So the delete operator, what does this delete operator does? So this delete operator is basically it modifies the old object, right? It modifies the old object. It normally goes straight to the object and pick that property and wipe it off from the object. So this delete operator, as you can see here, we are using the delete operator. So I will uncomment this delete operator. So what happens here, you see, using the delete operator. So this delete operator has been around in the JavaScript in the early days of JavaScript, during the Emacs, the early days of Emacs. So it has been an OG. So but this delete operator has a drawback. Okay, so before we go dive into using delete operator, I'd like to explain some things about it. So it's not perfectly good when you're working with large objects, okay, because what this delete operator does is it moves into the object and search for that particular property which you want to delete, and it remove it. It kind of write it off from the original object. So it depends on your use case, but I would advise you to use this for larger object. Yeah. So let's run this terminal and see what happens. So we have the stuff. So what are you seeing here now? You see, we have the old object and the new object, right? So what are you seeing on the old object? We have props 1, props 2, props 3, having the value 1, value 2, value 3. So as you can see, on the new object, we don't have the props 2, which was there in the old object. What we have is the props 1, value 1, props 3, value 3. As you can see, the delete operator have taken off the property of props 2. So that's for the delete operator. Now we're moving forward. The next one we are going to look into is using the assign, the object assign. So using the object assign is a very important operator too. Using the object assign with the delete operator. So what happens? So this object assigned with the delete operator, the first segment of this video was about, yeah, we have the assign object, yeah, the assign object and the delete operator here too. So what happens with this assign object and delete operator? So if you could remember on the former section, I do talk about having the delete object to modify the original object. So which in some use cases you might not want that to be the case. So if you don't want to modify the original object, you don't want to delete the original object, you can use the object.assign. So what this object.assign app does is it creates a new object, and using the delete operator and deleting from the new object, so you still retain your old object the way it is. So let's see if this works. So we have, so first of all, let's clear the console. So we run this. As you can see, we now have the props value 1, props value 2 plus value 3, and you see the new object is props value 1, props value 3. This is props 3, props 1. See, we no longer have the props 2. So without wasting much of our time, I will going to be showing you guys another tricks which can happen with this. So we then have the spread operator, yeah, the object spread operator. So using the object spread operator with the delete still work the same way with the assign, right? There's no two different things with it, from them, but so they still work alike. So let's see what happens if it works. So you clear the console and we run. You see, we're still having it been deleted. Props 1, props 3, props 2 is gone from the new object. So as you can see, you can use the spread operator and it works. And the spread operator still retains the old object the way it is. It does not change the old object, but it only changes the new object. Okay. So without wasting much of our time, okay, the next one is setting the property to undefined or null, kind of setting the reassigning the property, the value of the property, right? So this one still works and this is highly recommended. But there is something about this guy. So let's clear this guy. So what happens about this guy is that it does not delete the property from the object. It only change the value of the property on that object. So you still have the property of the object. So what happens? You see, we have, let's run this code. Now what are you seeing here? We have props 1 on the old object. We have props 1 value 1, props 2 value 2, props 3 value 3, and then on the new object we have props 1 value 1, props 2 undefined, props 3 value 3. You see, we set the stuff to undefined. As you can see, it was being set to undefined here. So we can also as well set it to null. Yeah, you can set it to null. And what happens if you set that stuff to null? So let's see what happens when we set it to null. You see the value have changed to null. Yeah, props 2 is not null. Okay, you can still set it to any other stuff which you feel like you want to set it to. So let's set it to an empty string. What happens if we set it to an empty string? Pretty well, I believe by now you should have known. So you see it has an empty array string, an empty string as a value. So you can still set it to whatever you feel you want to set this stuff to. Set it to a number tray. What happens if you set it to a number tray? To a number, right? So what happens? You see it has a property with the value of 3, props 2, the property of 2 have the value of 3. You can see. So using setting the property to undefined or null, the value still works. So it all depends on your use case, right? What you want to use it for. For the last one, we have using the EXIS object destructuring. So you can use the EXIS object destructuring So what happens, and so you get a props tool, you structure props tool from the object and you reset. That means you're kind of spreading the old returning values, right? So what happens, you then get the reset from this guy, and let's see what happens. Clear, and you have the stuff, and boom, see the props tool is no longer on the new objects. So this means that we have successfully deleted and we have successfully come to the end of this tutorial, and I believe this worked for you. So try it on your next project and see what works for you. Okay, comment box, and like this video, subscribe for more tips, and turn on the notification bell so that you can get more video concerning any tips on JavaScript, React Native, or anything at all that I'm teaching out on this channel. So that stuff is basically based on your own use case. Okay, you know, JavaScript is a very broad kind of language. Like, it has so many things, so many ways of doing a particular thing. So it's that kind of flexible, giving us the ability to choose the right thing for the right thing. Okay, you don't just do things just because it works on JavaScript. So we use what is best for a particular case. So thank you, stay tuned, see you some other time. Bye.